Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is early Saturday morning. I didn't get a chance to do the Hot 10 list yesterday. I had some troubles with my vehicle. I had to take it into the shop, so it kind of threw off my whole day. So woke up early as I usually do and figured I'd just get this done this morning, go over the top 10 list. Also, highlight a few things. I also did my December solicitations, pre-orders through Midtown. So I got to a total of about 35 books, about $104. I try to be as selective as I can. That's about what I could get it down to. So I don't know. I play with it usually for about a week and see if there's anything else I either don't really need to have, or see if I can whittle it down a tad. But that's where it stands right now. 35 books, $104. So yeah, there's a lot of good books coming out in December, so I might do another video. I think I did one already. Well, I did the November solicitations, yeah. So I'm due to do one for Marvel. Usually I do a Marvel and DC solicitation for December. What I might do is just go through my pre-orders, so you can kind of see what I'm buying and what I think looks good. So rather than just comments, so I just might go through my Midtown order so you can kind of see what I'm actually picking up. All right, guys, let's jump into it. First off, I had a chance right before my car broke down. I was able to go to the local comic book shop and pick up a couple books. One of them looks pretty cool. This is Powers of X, number 3. I have the secret variant of this, but this is the second printing, and I like the coloring on it. The yellow, it's the black and yellow coloring, very cool. Usually the second prints have lower print runs, so I don't know if there's any collectability really to it, but I just like the cover a lot, so I decided to pick that up. Another one I picked up that I pre-ordered through my local shop is Something is Killing the Children, the Ginny Frizen C cover, which is pretty cool. A little bit of it's the only problem with sometimes these local shops, I don't know, a little bit of a dent there on the side. It's not terrible, but yeah, looks pretty good. I'm interested in reading that. I've heard a lot about it. Obviously, these books are selling pretty hot in aftermarket now, so we'll see if that's any good. I also picked up Once and Future number 2. This one's a really clean copy. They had a bunch of them on the shelf, so I was able to go through them and find a copy that was in really nice condition. This has been a good series. I enjoyed the first issue. I know it's been pretty hot. They're up to a 5th printing, I think, on number 1 now. So I've even heard that they might do a 6th printing, which is crazy. So a big hit for Boom Studios. I don't think they've had a big hit like this before. So, they're producing a nice book. Kieran Gillian and also Dan Mora. Artwork is amazing. Just really good artwork, good story. Yeah, it's a hit, no doubt about it. I also was able to pick up the Young Guns cover for Absolute Carnage number 3. It sold out in Midtown. I wasn't able to get it on Midtown. Problem is, this book has some damage to it. It's got just a couple little wrinkles on it. Other than that, it's in good shape. But it's just, they had the store had maybe 2 copies of this, and I called on Monday, and they were kind enough to put one in my box. But you don't have choice on what the condition is if they only have a couple coming into the store, and they're going all to subscription. So yeah, there were none of these on the wall. So I don't know if this is short printed or not, but it's selling $10 to $15 range on eBay right now. So even though mine's got a little bit of damage to it, it's a cool cover. It's a nice cover to have. Another one I picked up that a lot of people aren't aware of. I'll give credit to Jim's Comics on this. He posted this on his Instagram page. Dead Man Logan, number 11. I've not been collecting this series. I think I only picked up issue number 4, and that was only because it had a Zaffino cover. It was like a 1 in 25 Geraldo Zaffino cover, which was really, really a nice book. So I've not been collecting this all the way through. I don't really know what's going on, but there is a new character in this, so this may be one of the reasons you may want to look for it this week at your shop. At the very end of the book, I guess this is maybe a first appearance cameo of a new Thor. And I guess this is the daughter of Luke Cage and Jessica. Was it Jessica Drew? I can't remember her last name. Yeah, Luke Cage. I have her first appearance as a baby. I think it's like Pulse number 8 or something like that. But that's her all grown up, and she takes the mantle of Thor. So, I don't know if this book's going to heat up or not. I don't see any evidence of that yet. But sometimes first appearances take a while to catch on. Who knows? Maybe they bring her into the regular Thor series. This will be a key book, potentially. So if I were you, I would grab a copy at your local shop if you happen to see it. So Dead Man Logan number 11. All right, let's jump into the top 10 list here, or the hot 10 list rather, by CBSI. I'm not real impressed with this list. I pretty much don't care about most of the books on here. So this might be a quick video on this. Number 10 on the list is Uncanny X-Men number 1, the Gabriel Delato variant. It's a 1 in 50 variant. Now, they printed the crap out of this book back in 2013. So, to my knowledge, this book was never really that expensive to get. Looks like you can still buy it around $35 to $40. So it's still selling for under ratio. So a 1 in 50 book, should sell around $40 to $50 when it comes out, around that. Delato's an awesome artist. It's obviously a nice cover. It's selling around $30. It says here $30. It's more like $35 to $40. When these lists come out, it automatically ups the book by $5 or $10. There's a lot of people that follow this top 10 list. So, but it said like a week ago it was selling for less than half that. So that might be true. I mean, this might have been a $10, $15 book. Not a bad idea if you really like an artist to track down some of his artwork, because you never know when that book will get hot for no other reason than it's a Delato book, right? So that's one of the things to keep in mind when you're looking at books and you follow a certain artist. You may want to look for, I picked up a Red Sonja foil cover, Red Sonja versus Thulsa Doom number 1 foil by Delato for pretty cheap. I picked it up for it was like $25. And, it's a pretty rare book, and normally should sell around $75 to $100, but just no one's paying attention to it, so I got a really good deal on it. So that was the same thing here, I think. Normally this is a 1 in 50. This should sell $40 to $50 easily, and, not too long ago you were able to pick it up for under $20, which is a good deal. Spawn number 221, cover swipe of Amazing Fantasy 15. The book's always been fairly hot because of this. The print run back during that run of Spawn is pretty low. So, $80 to $90 book. A month ago it was $50. There's a lot of attention on Spawn right now, hitting that historic 301 figure. So, of course, there's going to be more people looking for back issues, and I don't know if it's sustainable, or not, but for Spawn collectors, I'm sure they're happy about that. Number 8, Captain Marvel, number 21. Peter David's the writer. I'm not familiar with the artist Chris Cross. Wasn't he in a band or a rap group? I'm not too sure. I guess this is the first appearance of Big Mother. I don't know who that is. I don't know why this book's hot. It doesn't give any reveal here. here on CBSI's website, but looks like it's a $20 book. It was a dollar book, dollar bin book not too long ago, and now it's a $20 book. So, that may be one that if you're at your LCS, you may want to flip through their back issues and see if that's in there. 2001, that's a while ago. And a very obscure book, number 21. I don't know. That would be a tough book to find, I think. Number 7, House of Powers, or rather House of X, Powers of X. So basically, the whole series is what they're saying here is number 7 on the list. It's a little strange. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's still a big secret. I don't know why they have this on the list even. They're not singling out a single issue. They're just saying the whole miniseries is hot. Okay, yeah, everybody knows that. A covers, variants, pick the one you like. They're all doing about the same. Yeah, it's been a hot series. Good writing tends to do that. I just don't know why CBSI just puts the whole, I don't know. It's usually they should just do individual issues, but they're doing the whole series there on number 7. Number 6, Tank Girl number 1. That was on the list last week. New movie with Margot Robbie. That's obviously fueling it. Yeah, it's an obscure comic book from the UK. I don't know, not too many people, or the original one was from the UK. I think this is Dark Horse. So this is not the first appearance of Tank Girl. I think it's the first in her own series, maybe, is what that is. It's an interesting cover. The old Zeppelins. Yeah, I mean, a 9.4 just sold for $325. Raws are going around 150. So that book's on fire. I wouldn't be paying those kind of prices now, but it's not a character I really follow or care about. So yeah, to each his own on that. Number 5, Spider-Man 2, number 1, the Julian Tedesco variant, the 1 in 50 variant. Very cool variant. Yeah, there's a couple of them on eBay. I don't know. I don't know if it's a $100 book or not. I'm not too sure, but they're saying it's getting $150 raw. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice looking cover, but Evil Miles Morales, I guess, is the reason that book is heating up. Number 4 on the list, Batman: The Long Halloween, number 1. This is a series I always wanted to buy, but it always seemed a little too expensive for me. I never picked it up. I've got a couple other ones by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. They did a lot of 12-issue series together. What else did they do? I know they did Long Halloween. They did, I think Dark Victory was one. I think I have Dark Victory. So, of course, I have the one that's not heating up. Such figures. But yeah, usually they're pretty good stories. I'm not a big fan of Tim Sale's artwork. Just don't care for that style that much. Number 3 is What If, number 4 from 1989. Looks like this is a $15 to $25 book now. I guess the reason this is heating up, it's a first appearance of a Venomized Hulk. And here they're saying, for those who do believe this is the first Venom Hulk, does that really scream key to you anyway? Yeah, I mean, everything Venomized, everything Carnage is being looked at right now because of the current series. So I'm not surprised this is heating up. Whether it's sustainable or not is probably, I'd be a little weary of paying high prices for that book now. I don't know if that will sustain that price or not. Number 2 is Star Wars Age of Resistance, Rey, number 1, the Joe Quesada 1 in 50 variant. $100 book. I don't know. I mean, there is a definite group of collectors that collect Star Wars. A lot of them want to have these harder to find books, so you've got enough. You got enough low supply, meaning, how many comic book shops were ordering 50 copies of that book to get even one of those variants? I can tell you all the shops around me, none of them would order 10 copies of that book, let alone 50. So maybe the only places you would find that would be very big stores like a Mile High or Midtown, My Comic Shop. There's going to be just a few places that would have even gotten this book. So it's probably pretty rare, I would think. It's hard to say. I also don't trust Marvel, because Marvel will make you think something is really low print run and it's not. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Star Wars comic book fan. I've collected some issues off and on. This is nothing that would appeal to me. I certainly would not pay double ratio for a book that I'm not all that passionate about. So, but there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there that will collect anything and everything Star Wars. So that's probably why that book is at those levels. Number 1 is Spider-Girl number 59. I looked this up. It's the first appearance of what is it, Bryn Parker or something? I don't know if it's if Peter Parker had a baby. I don't know. Peter Parker's Benji Parker. I have no idea. Is this an alternate reality? I've never heard of Benji Parker. So, I don't know. It's a $40 to $80 book at the moment. It's definitely nothing I would look for or be interested in paying a high dollar amount for. But if I ran across it in a dollar bin, which seems unlikely, Spider-Girl number 59. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you were at a comic book convention and we're looking through a huge back issue collection, you might be able to find something like that there. But I don't know. It seems like a very obscure book to look for. But hey, if you find it in a dollar bin, which apparently some people have reported finding it in dollar bins, it's a $40 to $80 book. That's a good book to buy and flip real quick on eBay. And then use that money to buy a real comic book, not Spider-Girl number 59. 5 years from now, is anybody going to care about that book? Probably not. That's just my take on that. There was also a notable mention on a book I picked up. I just talked about it. Absolute Carnage number 3, the Pepe Larraz variant. That's the character design variant, I guess. It says it's selling $10 to $15. Moderate movement for one that was released this week. And then the other one they mentioned is Amazing Man Comics number 22. If you can hear that scratching noise, that's my cat in the background being crazy. I don't know, every morning, I don't know if she's high on something or he's high on something. I don't know, but he runs around like a wild man. So this book here, a 1.5 detached copy sold this week for $12,000. Holy smokes. I don't know. I wonder what that 9.0 copy that sold 15 years ago for $5,000 would go for now. I mean, that is a tiny segment of the collecting community that buys these old comic books and spends that kind of money. I don't know anybody that does. I mean, I know a lot of people in the comic book community, and I don't know anybody that collects that kind of book, or usually anything over Silver Age. It would be rare to hear of anybody buying, let alone spending that kind of money for. Most of the people I know that are in comic books, if they had $12,000 to spend on a comic book, we'd probably buy a really high-end grade of Hulk 181 before we would buy Amazing Man comics. So, that's collecting, right? To each his own. There's people out there that could care less about anything in the Bronze Age, Modern Age, even Silver Age. They only collect Golden Age comics. So, that's what makes collecting great. You can find what you like, and that's your thing. In the comic book news, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it looks like James Tinian the fourth. I don't know. Does he like to be called James Tinian the fourth? I guess so. I always see that. I guess there's 3 other James Tinians out there. what's that? Grandfather, great-grandfather, grandfather, and his father. So they're keeping the tradition going. He'll have a son. It'll be James Tinian the fifth. But looks like James Tinian is going to be writing Batman. So starting in issue 86, after Tom King departs into obscurity, perhaps, I don't know. Maybe Tom King will eventually. He's doing actually a decent job in these last few issues of Batman. Whether he continues that all the way through the end of his run, I don't know. But I hope he does well for his sake, so that he has somewhat of a career. But James Tinian is no stranger to Batman books. He's been on Detective Comics for quite some time, so he's written Batman quite a bit. It'd be interesting to see what kind of take he has on the character and what he does with Batman. So, that'll be something big. Was it January? I think January is going to be, end of January will be the first issue of Batman 86. So I'm sure there'll be an event scheduled on that with the new writer. There's this other book here. I pre-ordered one of the copies of this. Gung Ho comes out in December. Got a nice Perel cover there. The one I like is this one. That's the cover I'm picking up. That is by, what's his name? I think it's Cale No. I know he's definitely Filipino. So whenever you see NGU, that's a Filipino. I know that because my neighbor is Filipino, and it's pronounced no. So the G and the U apparently are in English translation is O. So it's just no. So Cale No is the artist there, and I love that artwork. That is really, really good. So that's the copy I'm picking up. And I'm usually a Perel fan. I mean, I usually like Perel, but this Perel cover just isn't doing it for me. It's okay. And not near as good as the No cover. This one's not too bad. This is by Ruan. It's pretty good. This series looks interesting. And then this is Kumant cover. So there's some interesting looking books coming out in December. I think this one is one worth grabbing. It's got that young cast here. It says Gung Ho takes place in the near future when the White Plague has almost completely decimated humanity and civilization is only a sweet memory. The world as a whole has become a danger zone where survival is only possible within towers or fortified villages. Enter orphan brothers Zach and Archer Goodwoody, troublemaking teens who have just arrived at Fort Apache and are about to learn the hard rules of integration into the colony. Outside the walls lies a hostile and deadly environment, but inside is also a dangerous place, as the boys are about to find out. So it looks interesting. I'm buying it because of that cover, and hopefully the story is really good. But I'm going to give it a try. But I'll go through more of the solicitations for December on a separate video, so look for that. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. What do you think of this top 10 list? I didn't find it all that compelling this week. Really wasn't any books on there that I felt like, I got to go get that. So, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I wasn't too impressed with the list this week. All right, guys, look for my next video either on Wednesday or maybe a little bit before that. Hope you guys have a great week.